Hey there, I'm John.
And I'm Katie, and welcome to Pizza with Plants.
Pizza?
Pizza.
You said pizza. Nice try to play that off.
Pizza.
Thought I wasn't going to pick that
The
up.
little bounce. Pizza.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yep.
Okay. Somebody's had Prosecco this morning.
No, I have not.
No, not yet. Okay. This is tofu, and we eat a lot of it.
We eat a lot of it.
We eat a lot.
All different ways.
Yeah.
So we're going to share some of those with you and hopefully inspire you to maybe try tofu. If you've never tried it, or try it in a different way, if you've not made it a particular way.
There's so many different ways you can have it, and so we've put together 4 of our tofu recipes for you that you can just watch in one sitting. There'll be chapters. You can just kind of fast forward and watch whichever one you want. But tofu's such a great plant-based protein that is incredibly healthy for you. Don't believe any of the stuff out there that says that it'll give you man boobs, that it's going to mess with your hormone levels. It has been eaten for thousands of years, and everybody's okay. So let's...
We're going to tell them what kind of things we're going to make, or just surprise them?
You guys have to watch.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. That's a cliffhanger. Look at us with our TV vernacular.
Oh my God, you're ridiculous.
Keep watching, everybody.
For the first of our 4 tofu recipes, we're going to start with our tofu egg salad. The first step in making our tofu egg salad is to break our pressed extra firm tofu into good-sized chunks. We'll follow with our soft silken tofu and then use a pastry blade to cut it all up into the desired texture for our egg salad. Our texture is perfect. We're going to stir in our mayonnaise and mustard and give that a mix to coat. Then we'll toss in our seasonings, including some extra turmeric, followed by our diced celery, pickles, pimentos. Give it a good mix and then let it sit for the flavors to develop. Last, I'm slicing up some homemade sourdough to truly enjoy this delicious tofu egg salad. Who doesn't love tacos? Keep watching for a great recipe that even your meat eater friends and family will love. To get started, we're going to remove our extra firm tofu from the press where it's been pressing overnight. We're going to shred the whole block of tofu and then add some olive oil to coat it, and then our seasonings and stir to mix. Then we'll spread it on a lined baking sheet and pop it into the oven at 400 degrees. You'll know your tofu is done when it's golden brown. While our tofu is baking, we're going to get a pan nice and hot with some olive oil, and then add in our onion and garlic and cook it until it's translucent. Then we'll add in our jalapeno, followed by our seasonings, veggie broth, and tomato paste. By the time this is simmered a bit and really cooked down to develop the flavors, our tofu is ready to be mixed in. We're going to let it cook a little bit longer, and then we'll be ready to make some tacos. You can't have a great taco without warm tortillas. We're going to heat ours up on the griddle, flipping them halfway, and we know they're done when they have just a little crisp to them. To assemble our tacos, we're going to scoop in our taco meat, give a nice topping of fresh chopped cilantro and onion, and a squeeze of fresh lime. Next up, and perfect for an easy weekday dinner, is teriyaki tofu. Let's start with removing our pressed tofu from our press and breaking it into small bite-sized pieces. Then we'll drizzle it with some sesame oil and coat it with a light dusting of cornstarch. This will help it get nice and crispy. We're going to spread it out on a tray and pop it into the air fryer at 400 degrees. We'll keep an eye on the tofu while it's in the air fryer and pull it when it's nice and golden brown. We'll get started with our sauce by heating up our pan to a nice hot temperature. Then add our sesame and chili oils, ginger, garlic, and shallots, It smells amazing. Once those have cooked down a little bit, we'll add in our miso, chili garlic sauce, agave, and teriyaki. We're going to let that simmer for just a bit and then toss in our air-fried tofu, mixing well to coat. We'll let it cook for a little bit and really let that sauce thicken, which it will do given the cornstarch that's coating the tofu. When it's nice and thick, we're ready to garnish with some chopped green onion and toasted sesame seeds, and enjoy. Last up is our meaty tofu bolognese.
So let's get started on our tofu bolognese. First thing we're going to want to do is get our tofu all crumbled up. So I'm going to pull it out of our tofu press. This tofu press is a lifesaver, by the way. If you don't have one, you've got to get one. I'll put the link down below. And then you're just going to chop it up into manageable sizes and then just mash it with your hands. I like to wear gloves when I'm doing it. If you don't have gloves and you don't like the feel of this, just grab a fork. And it was Katie's idea for the close-up. I'm realizing that was probably a little bit too close to watch tofu being all crumbled up, but just get that all taken care of and set aside the bowl. So next you're going to want to get a pan heated up over medium-high heat. Add some olive oil to it, and once the pan's up to temp, just throw in your tofu, followed by your chopped walnuts. Give that a good stir and let that cook for probably about, I would say 4 to 5 minutes. And then after that's done, you're going to want to add in your balsamic vinegar and soy sauce. As you can tell, somebody didn't start the camera on time, so we weren't able to show that. But yeah, just get that all stirred up, let everything cook for about 10 to 12 minutes total, and then take it off the heat and put it into a bowl. Now that the tofu's done, we're going to go ahead and get our sofrito going for our bolognese. So we're going to start off by getting the pan heated up. We're going to add a big glug of olive oil and then throw in your onions and garlic and give those a good stir. We're just going to sweat those out a little bit. And I got to tell you, I don't think that there is anything on this world that smells better than onion and garlic cooking in olive oil. It's been about 5 minutes, so next we're going to add in our carrots and our celery. And as you can see on all of this, I did a fine dice on all of our vegetables. I'm assuming you're not tuning in to watch me chop vegetables, which is kind of boring, so that's why we didn't show it. But that's what you're going to want to do when you make this. Add a nice pinch of salt, stir it all up, cover it to sweat out for a little bit, probably about 5 to 7 minutes. And then after that's done, take your lid off, give it a good stir, and then just let it continue to cook. Next, we're going to add in our tomato paste and our herbs. For our spices, I'm adding a little bit of salt, some crushed red chili pepper, some dried oregano, dried basil. And don't tell Katie, but I also added just a little bit of MSG. It's not as bad as what everybody says, and I think it adds a really nice umami punch to the sauce, but totally optional. Don't have to use it. And remember, don't tell Katie. Next, we're going to add in our red wine and get that stirred up. You're going to want to let that cook off for probably about 3 or 4 minutes. And once that's done, then we're going to add in our whole peeled San Marzano tomatoes. Once those are in, I also like filling up the jar, or the can I should say, with some water just to get the rest of the sauce. Dump that in, stir that up, and we're going to let that cook for about 5 minutes so the tomatoes can start to get soft. So the tomatoes have been cooking for about 5 minutes, so we're going to go in with our wooden spoon and just break those up and chop them up. Don't worry about getting them too small. I kind of like the big chunks of tomatoes. And once that's all incorporated, we're going to add our tofu and walnut mixture back into the sauce. We're going to bring that up to a boil, continuing to stir along the way. And then once it gets to a boil, we're going to put a lid on it, drop the temp to low, and let this cook for about 35 to 40 minutes.
So it's been about 40 minutes and our sauce is just about ready. It looks so good, and the chunks of tomatoes, you would never know this didn't have meat in it. Give that a stir, and then I like to finish it off. I gave it a quick taste. It needed a little bit more salt, but I like to finish it off with a little bit more olive oil, and you are ready to have this with any pasta your heart desires.
So we hope you enjoyed that. Was that?
I think they all turned out super yummy.
Yeah,
Me with the super.
Super. Yeah, it's your fault now.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot, and we're going to continue to come up with fun ways to cook it, but we thought it would be a nice way to put them all together. You can kind of zip through them, watch them all.
However you did it. Hopefully you made it this far.
Yeah, well, yeah, hopefully. I mean, we're not boring people. I mean, we're kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We think so.
Yeah, well,
we entertain each other, not you.
That's really all that matters. So if you're happy with yourself.
Right. Okay.
So
be kind.
Eat pizza.
With plants.
And some tofu.
Yeah.
See ya.